I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there.
Aries. For Aries Ascendant, Venus will be in the 5th house in the sign of Leo, and until 7th of August, Venus will be in this zodiac sign before it falls back to Karka Rashi, Cancer zodiac sign. The entire transit will be in Magha Nakshatra, and Venus rules your 2nd and 7th houses. So definitely this is going to be good, and this is going to be profitable transit. You will feel more happy with your family, with your children. Your days will be more productive. Especially it will bring creative energy into the kind of work that you do. Students will be creative in their learning process. They will find new ways to retain the information in the memory. They will be more happy. So it's more like a happy transit because Venus is with Mars. It's a great time to follow your passion. It's a great time to focus on things that makes you happy, making the environment favor you. But also this, on the other hand, can increase jealousy. This can increase competition in love-related matters. In very acute cases, it can result into some extramarital affairs. So be careful on these angles. Remember, Saturn is there in the 11th house. So you will have to be watchful of what you're asking from life. Venus in the Leo zodiac sign, especially in the Magha Nakshatra, is a kind of a Venus that will desire the royalty. And 5th house is also the house of sun, Surya. So what you ask should be in sync with the nature, with the dharma. And if that is, you will be getting maximum of this Venus transit, especially after 23rd of July when Venus becomes retrograde. It will make you, focus more on yourself. It will make you focus more on your own productivity, on what you like and what you dislike. It's a great time to follow your passions, and if you are in media industry, if you are in film editing, if you are in the social space, or if you are into digital world, if you are into any other Venusian, that means creative field, salon, textiles, interior designing, fashion designing, this is going to be an exceptional time for you. Second Lord coming in 5th house is also going to heal you, and this might also means that you will get a lot of motivation and courage to pull up your life and work in the right direction. Chanting Shri Suktam every day will be great. Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Shukra. So is your 6th house. And then Venus will be moving in your 4th house. 4th house will also find Mars. The Mars and Venus conjunction in the 4th house is an excellent formation for you. This is also going to be a time when dispute will be resolved. You will feel more happy and comfortable. But because of a competition, especially in the matters related to love, this might make you slightly restless also. Do not try to engage into any unnecessary war or unnecessary ego battle, because your 6th Lord is also in the 4th house, which means dispute will come. And it will drag itself into the family matters, into the personal space. So you will see that the personal space will become a battlefield. In the 4th house, Mars is in the Leo zodiac sign. So Mars is definitely going to bring in passion, bring in motivation. But this is also a time that if you're married, you need to focus more on the family life, focus more on the personal space, your inner circle, your close friends, and have a good time with them, rather than focusing on events that are of less importance, that are only going to create negativity. A lot of assumptions and hope will be created during this time by this Venus, and there may be a lot of jealousy being built up in the mind. You will have to pray to Ma Mahadurga by chanting Devi Suktam or any other Ma Durga mantra, because that will heal you from within. And remember, 4th house is basically house of comforts. So stay in your comfort zone. Think of how you can grow. Think more constructively and creatively. This will also result into gain of wealth, gain of assets. You might start a new business, a new source of income might come. It will make you more comfortable in your career. So for career perspective and health perspective, it's a really good time. But from relationship and from the personal front, you will have to be slightly careful. Take great care of the health of your heart and lungs. Gemini. Now it is in the Gemini where Venus will be in the third house along with Mars, and then Venus will go retrograde. So there will be a lot of hopes, aspirations. Humans' aspiration will increase, and you will try to struggle to achieve. You will try in Hindi what you call as Sam Dam Dand Bhed. That means you will apply all measures to fulfill your dream, and you will desperately try to work on your own desire, your own ambition. There will be hope coming your way that will further encourage you to work on that angle. But you will have to be very cautious because Mars is good, but Venus in third house is not that great. In creative work, in direction, in media, in painting, photography, video editing, social media, in any kind of area where you are being an actor, you are being a dubbing artist, you are into media line, you will see great things coming your way. But this might also means that you are trying too hard. So you must know your limits. Too much too soon will be really bad for you, and then you will have to backtrack. You will have to rewind and rework again after Venus goes retrograde. Remember, there is a retrograde Saturn in your 9th house watching Mars and Venus conjunction in the 3rd house. This might also create issues related with sisters and especially the cousins. So it is better that you resolve all those issues, because this is a great time, especially when Venus will become retrograde, to rebuild relation, re-establish connections, and remove all that negativity from within. And at least you should take that initiative to try to connect to your brothers and sisters. Great time to start a new project, great time to work on new beginnings, new creative ideas will come. Read more books, open up to new possibilities, because Venus rules your 12th house, and 12th house is the house of imagination, subconscious mind. People who want to travel abroad will also see work coming their way, and a lot of traveling, or at least planning of a lot of travel will happen. Planning a leisure trip is a good idea during this time. Venus is also your 5th lord, and being the 5th house lord, when it goes in the 3rd house, it really shows that you are going to increase your appetite, the work appetite and risk appetite, and anything that is coming out of greed, comparison, jealousy will be stopped by Saturn. But if you are having an organic growth of life, that you really want to grow big, but organically, constructively, then entire planet will support you, and you will see some really positive output, while Venus is in the 3rd house. Cancer ascendant, Karka Rashi. Now, in your case, Venus will be in the 2nd house. Venus will cross the Gandanta of Ashlesha and Magha, will move to Magha Nakshatra in the 2nd house. Mars and Venus in 2nd is actually a good combination, but you will have to also see that you will be more worried about the success of a family member. Maybe your wife's health takes a toll during this time, and you are more worried about that. So focus more on healing, right kind of diet. You will also see that your communication will be far more effective. Your smile will be far more positive. Your aura will become very much positive during this time. So try to spread that positivity all around you. Venus is an important planet for you, because Venus rules your 11th house and your 4th house. And because Venus rules 11th and 4th, it rules your connections, your friends, your relatives, your network circle. And when it goes in the 2nd house, you will start gaining from that. You will see, you will build new friendships. Some really good people will come your way and help you, and you will have a good time. This is a great time to earn money through assets. Your money will make money during this time, and the only thing that you should be careful is that you should not take a decision out of fear or some kind of insecurity. because then Mars, which is watching the 8th house, may provoke you to take some negative decision. It might also mean that you are going to buy some property, you're going to build more assets, you will have more expenses towards your own children. But I won't say that's an expense. It's like an investment. So any investment plan, a constructive investment plan during this time will result into good profits. You will book good profits. But if you are into speculative business, if you're into stock market, you will have to calculate every move and beware of dates around 23rd of July. While Venus is in Magha Nakshatra, you will see good things, good event, auspicious activities happening at home. So it is better that if it's a month of Shravan, and if you can do Shiva Puja, if you can do Rudra Abhishek in your home, that will be a great event, a great spiritual event in the family. This Mars and Venus might increase the Rajasic Tattva, so it might increase the hunger for resources, hunger for money, and it might push you to earn more so that you can fulfill your material demands. That is fine unless it sits on your head and starts affecting your health. So maintain that fine boundary. Leo. Now in case of Leo, Venus will move in your first house, and Venus rules your third house, and Venus rules your 10th house. Now when third and 10th house are controlled by Shukra and it goes in the first house, it is like you will put more efforts towards yourself. Because of Mars being present there, you will have a lot of encouragement, enthusiasm, a lot of desire, a lot of will to execute what you want in life. But there is a retrograde Saturn 7th from this Mars and Venus position, and from 23rd Venus will become retrograde also, which means that if you are not confident, if you are not clear about the consequence of your action, and if you end up executing it without giving it a proper thought or without knowing the results, you might have to retract, you might have to pull back, you might have to undo a lot of damage, and a lot of chaos might happen. So you will have to be very watchful of your decisions, of your actions during this time. But if you are watchful, if you are doing things right, if you are going slow and not in a hurry, then this Venus transit in your first house will not only heal you, but will also bring name, fame, will bring you happiness, will also help you connect with a new source of income. Good career opportunities will come. You will be recognized. You will come in limelight, and your aura will be loved by all. So it's more like it creates a charming personality out of you and will make you more positive. So anyone who has an afflicted moon might use this time to actually heal yourself. Do something that you like, follow your passion, and just invest your energy into something creative. Learn a new musical instrument and try to fulfill your desire, but in a constructive way, in a limited manner. Venus in Magha Nakshatra is more like thinking royally, and Mars will be the necessary energy required by Venus to execute that royal thought. Now, as long as this thought is good, you will see that planets will support you. But if it is full of greed, jealousy, because that's a category where Venus may venture into because of Mars' presence, you will see that Saturn will give you heavy resistance. It's a great time to drop your ego, re-heal relationships, bad marriages, and it is a time of reconciliation. So for relationship also, this is a great time. So you can use this Venus creative and feminine energy to give you something really positive. Overall, it's a beautiful transit. Virgo. Now, in case of Virgo, Venus will be moving in your 12th house. Now, this is a Venus coming from the 11th, going to 12th. Then on 23rd July, it will become retrograde, and on 7th of August, will fall back to the 11th house. And Venus is your Dhana Lord, second Lord. So definitely there is a transaction happening between 11th and 12th, which shows that it grows business related to export and import, export and import of goods and services. And if you are traveling abroad for some expansion purpose, for some business purpose, this might give you a lot of positive output. Venus in the 12th house is very happy, but Venus in 12th house may also mean unnecessary expense. An expense driven by hope, driven by comparison, driven by jealousy. Mars is also there in the 12th house, but you have to understand that Mars is your 8th lord. It is a Vipreet Rajyog of Mars. I have explained in details what Mars in Leo will do. But because Venus will also enter this house, you might end up, instead of investing, spending and considering your expenses as your investment. Say, for example, someone requires an object related to business that may come in, say, $100. But an upgraded version of that comes at $200 will be chosen by you. Why? Because that is more attractive. You might convince yourself that it is foolproofing, future-proofing, and there can be n number of explanations given by your mind. But in reality, as a matter of fact, you will know that $200 will be of no use, because the features that you're getting, you will never use it. So it's like you're paying for vanity. You're paying the money for ego satisfaction. So that is how you will have to cut down on your expenses. But you can definitely have some leisure trips. Business trips will also happen. Expense that will make you happy, that will also happen. But Mars and Venus in the 12th house can also make you indulge into alcohol, party, lifestyle challenges may happen. And if that is not taken into consideration, if you don't regulate your habits, then it will start giving you health issues, hormonal imbalance, and people especially suffering from diabetes will be affected heavily by this. All you have to do is to have a good healthy lifestyle, meditate, do certain yoga, and enjoy your life. And when you are spending money, be careful, especially when you are going to travel. Plan your budget in a way that you are able to accommodate something extra. Like if you are, say, if you have $100 with you, plan a trip that will finish in $90, so that you at least have 10% room in case expenses go beyond your calculated limits, which will if you plan it in Venus in the 12th house. This is also the time when people will be able to recover their losses and get back the money that is in the market. If you have given money to someone else, and if you're waiting for property to sell, this can be a great time for that. For Virgo, you should chant Shri Suktam every Friday 16 times. That will help you a lot. Libra. Now, in case of Libra, if you see your ascendant and your 8th house is ruled by Venus, and this Venus will move in your 11th house. Now, this is definitely going to give you sudden gains. You will meet new friends. You will also see that you might get some help coming from the in-laws side. Your investment will, and your money that you have invested will give you better returns during this time. But it is kind of a time that you will get the fruits of your karma. But what you do now may not give you immediate result. So keep that in mind. Your ascendant lord coming in the 11th house shows that your presence will be accepted by all, and you will be more in public. You will have friends. You will have people coming as your elder brother or your elder sister, trying to support you. So it's a great time. It's a great time for connecting with people. It's a great time to experience different opinion. So if you meet a lot of people, you will get different perspectives. Also read a lot of books, so that you at least go into the mind of the writer, and that will give you a new outlook towards life. Venus is all about being creative. So you will have to be more flexible with life. And anyone who is more stubborn, anyone who has an exalted sun, and you are a Libra ascendant, should be watchful of your ego, should be watchful of how you come across to other people, especially to your loved ones. Venus coming in 11th house can give you sudden change in income. People looking for job can suddenly see something breaking for them, something coming positive for them. For businesses, This is going to be an excellent time. Your business will show a lot of productivity. But yes, you may have to reconsider some of your decisions. So don't be complacent. Don't assume anything. Be very practical. The more practical you will be, the better you will see Venus producing results. Also, Venus and Mars will aspect the 5th house, and therefore this is good for couples who are looking for childbirth or who are suffering from some medical issue and who are trying for childbirth and trying medically. You might see a good help coming your way. It's a really positive time. It's a time of wish fulfillment, but wish wisely. Scorpio. Now, in case of Scorpio, Venus will move in your 10th house. Now, Venus is also your ascendant lord. Correct? With your ascendant lord. And Venus is also your 7th lord. Venus is the 7th lord. Mars is the ascendant lord. Both Mars and Venus coming together in the 10th house. It's a great combination, especially for your career, for your livelihood, for your image in society, for your reputation, and for your designation. Promotion might be on the cards, and Venus will also make you a kind of a figure that people will love. So anyone who is into media, who is into public domain, who is more concerned about their image, creative professional, dancer, artists, will see great boost, appreciation coming your way, and somehow this Venus will give you a lot of positive results. But anyone who is trying to go into a shortcut in a career, they will experience a lot of hurdles. Because what this Venus wants you to do is try new things. Come out of your comfort zone. Don't fall back to the same old attempts, the style that you were following. Do something creative. This might also make you become a different person because of the influence, because of the career. Say, for example, you were always a late riser. You were not an early riser, but now you got a job that starts at 5 a.m. You are forced to rise early. So that is how the personality will also change. If not heavily, slightly. Some touch of Venus will come and will heal you a lot. It's an excellent time for Scorpio people, because after a long time, Mars and Venus are now in a stable position. Just ensure that you are not showing any arrogance and you're not showing any intimidating energy, especially in your career. Be polite and be a team player. Sagittarius. Now, in case of Sagittarius, Venus rules your 6th and 11th house, and it is going in the 9th house. So, with respect to 11th house, it's a great transit because 11th Lord will be 11 places away. This is a Bhavad Bhavam position of Venus. So, your luck will favor you. Money will come your way, and you will see new career opportunities. Businessmen will see their creative efforts showing results, their hard work giving a lot of positive returns. Venus in the 9th house will also aspect your 3rd house, and your expression, the way you style yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way your tone of your speech, all that will change. It will be more refined, more beautiful, more attractive, more influential. But Venus is also your 6th Lord, and wherever the 6th Lord goes, it carries the prarabdha there. So when 6th Lord goes into the 9th house, there is also a certain responsibility that you carry in your dharma. That means you will have to serve, you will have to be very responsible in your speech, you will have to be very responsible in your actions, and you will also see that through your father you might have some gain. So you might have to you will have to be respectful, and you might have to be available for your father. That might be a case. There will be variations in the relationship with your father. Sometimes it will be good, sometimes it will be not so great. But you will have to show that respect. Because Venus and Mars will be aspecting your 3rd house, and this will also involve relationship with your brothers and sisters. So one thing is for sure, you will be given the gains if you are fulfilling your duties. If you just fulfill your duty as a professional, as a family man, as an individual, you will get what you expect from life. And then you will see this Venus will turn the tide for you, turn the fate for you, and will give you a lot of positive results, especially for people who are involved into Venusian related career, also for someone who is into energy industry or any kind of electronic manufacturing. You will see some great results. Capricorn. Now, in case of Capricorn, Venus will move in your 8th house, and Venus is an important planet for you. If you observe, for Capricorn, Venus rules your 10th house and 5th house. 5th house is Taurus, 10th house is Libra. So it rules your education, your career, your livelihood, any change in careers. When it goes in the 8th, your career transformation is bound to happen. Also, you will have to be watchful about your health, the food that you eat, the lifestyle, because this is going to also change. Now, how it is changing? Is it changing because of your positive approach towards life? Or is it changing because of a forced planetary decision that planet has taken on your health? So you'll have to be watchful of your health. You will also have to be careful about the financial decisions of your spouse. You will also see that the things will be positive in the life of your spouse. That should give you happiness. But in your own life, you will be more worried about the randomness of events, and you will be more worried about the changes that is happening around you. This is the time to go with the flow, welcome the transformation, because actually things are positive. The only problem is that you can be an obstacle to your own security, to your own path. So don't take any rash decision, don't take any random decision out of nowhere without thinking, without planning, because a lot of assumptions might happen, and because of ego, you might choose to stick to a certain path because you feel that is right, and you will ignore everybody around you, and that might cause the downfall. So you will have to be watchful of that. Do not ignore the 8th house association of Venus with Mars. This can be detrimental for relationships, for marriages, for investments in your business. If you are not trying to change your ways, if you are not flexible enough. Why? Because it is you who is going to watch this ascendant, this transit of Venus. Saturn retrograde in the 2nd house, which is also your ascendant lord, will be aspecting Venus in the 8th house. So any secret desire, any lust will be compressed and suppressed by Saturn, and which also means that there will be hidden emotions. There will be a lot of hidden desire from life that might not be fulfilled during this time, or that might just come into limelight, that might embarrass you. So be watchful of that. But otherwise, if you see on a holistic way, if you are more into occult, if you are spiritual, if you are focusing on the good holistic lifestyle, if you are focusing more being close to nature and working on the feminine side and the masculine side, and you're trying to bring a balance in those, like mind and heart, kind of you will be okay with Venus in the 8th house. It may be a creative and a much needed transformation, especially for people who have strong Sun, Mars and Jupiter. Aquarius. For Aquarius, Venus will move in your 7th house, and this is good for marriage. This is good to bring back the passion, rekindle the spirit, and rekindle that passion in marriage. And this can save a bad relation from being, from coming into divorce or separation. Venus in the 7th house can actually heal your life. The only problem is Mars. Mars will never fare well in the 7th house. So that means you need to give preference to Venus rather than Mars while dealing with emotions, while dealing with your relations as well as your business interactions. When you're doing any contract, when you're signing a deal, when you're promising somebody, you must ensure that you fulfill that promise, because on one side it will be Martian promise. On the other side, it will also have an healing effect on people around you. It is your ascendant which is retrograde, which and aspecting this combination, which means you will do more than necessary. And that is where you will have to be watchful, that are you doing too much for someone? Are you crossing the boundary? It can sometimes be a fact that you really want to do something for someone, for your loved ones, but then you do it much more. Too much of sugar will not make the drink sweet. It will render the drink undrinkable. Too much of anything is bad, so you ensure that. But otherwise, for Aquarius, it will be a great time. You will see auspicious things happening at home. You will be much more happy in your life, and you will see your passion giving you a lot of fruits. You will have motivation, enthusiasm, and all that depressing thoughts and depressing feelings will now move away. You will also see that your spouse is growing, and the business, the family income, all that will be more now, and you will be happy in the with the success of your spouse, of your life partner. And sometimes you might have this emotional attachment to circumstance, that there is a certain setup that in which you live, and you don't want to give up on that setup. No, transformation is inevitable during this time, but yes, you should bloom wherever you are planted. Pisces. For Pisces, Venus is a very unique planet. Why? Because Venus rules your 8th, and then 8th from 8th, which is the 3rd house. Surprisingly, Pisces is a zodiac where Venus becomes exalt. And this Venus goes in your 6th house. On one side, it shows that you will be forced to fulfill your prarabdha. So it is better that you love fulfilling the duties. Love what you are asked to do, not what you are willing to do. You will have to see that what you are meant to do should be done. Otherwise, you will be forced there. You will be like, it's like there's no other option but to love the work which you are doing. This is also a Vipareet Rajyog, your 8th lord coming in the 6th house, which indicates while you cancel the prarabdha and while you think or assume that the life is really not great, something is happening in the background that is cleaning up the mess, and things will become really positive. That's called Vipareet Rajyog. First, it will give you adverse circumstance, and in the adverse circumstance, you will be the one getting profit. So for Pisces, it's a clear indication that emotionally, this is a bad time. Relationship-wise, this is not that great. But if you focus on prarabdha, if you focus on duty, if you are high on your moral ground, this is a great transit, because this transit have the potential to change your life forever. And this is you who will do it personally. But yes, you may have to, get your hands dirty. You may have to do things which you don't want to address, you don't want to do. But that's the case. Duty is duty, and this is the time when the duty calls. 3rd house Venus in the 6th also means that it's a great opportunity to change your job. It's a great opportunity to move higher on the leadership ladder. And it is also the time when the disputes related to siblings has to be resolved as soon as possible. But as I said, karma should be done the way it should be done. And if you do that, you will be the one getting all the profits.